How could I forget? How could I actually forget? Either a month or two ago, my neighbor passed away. I just remember waking up one day and I saw a limousine parked in front of their house. Cause I look out my window and I can see. And I was like, oh, where are they going? Like, what's happening? And then I see like 1, 2, 3, 4 people like just walking out in a line, all black. And I was like, so they're not going anywhere. That might be happy. It didn't occur to me that I didn't see the old man. I just saw, I want to assume the daughter and their kids or whatever. Because they were older. They were an older couple. And then the kids looked like they were like in their 20s, like, just maybe getting out of college and starting to live their life or whatever. I went to school and then I came back home and then I saw like tons of cars parked in their driveway down the street. And I was like, because like usually like when that happens, or at least in movies that I have seen, there's usually like tons of people who come after like a funeral or a wake or some sort of service, and they go to the person's house and they're like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, and there's food. I would remember the food part. Not that someone just lost their life with the food. Anyways, I don't mean any disrespect by that, but oh my gosh. So I called my mom, I was like, Mommy, I was like, I think the neighbor passed away. I think she was mad at me that day, so I was like, something to just distract her mind from what's happening with me. So I was like, Mommy, yeah, I think the neighbor died. Oh, really? And I was like, yes. And I felt so bad. You could tell that they had been together for years, and now she has to continue her life without him. And I was just like, oh, my heart. In here in my house, I feel like everything has stopped since we used those candles. And I wanted to get sage, and I also wanted to get Florida water, agua de Florida, because I'm trying to cleanse my space, cleanse my home. And I remember my grandma, Jesus Christ, when me and my mother, whatever, moved into this house, I struggled so hard with that, first of all. My grandma came and she helped. All the boxes came in and everything. We were like, we were here. And my grandma had her handy dandy little purse, and she was like, pulls out a bottle of holy water. A water bottle. She put them in like Aquafina bottles. I was like, thank you. She blessed the house. We prayed and had our house. And I don't mess with no Ouija boards, no nothing, none of that. So I don't know where this ghosty entity, whatever, came from. I don't think anyone's died in here. Ugh. Got goosebumps. I have another story. When I was like 11 or 12, no, I feel like I was younger. I think I was like 10 or 11. I was just at my grandma's house, and I was in the bathroom, and I just heard my mom walk by. She was at something. She was like, Mom. I finished, get out the bathroom, and she's like, that wasn't you that just went in the room? And I was just like, I just came out of the bathroom, so I don't think that was me. She's like, I thought you went in the bedroom. That's why I was talking to you. I was like, me was not it. I was in the bathroom. And she was like, she said she saw a whole entire person go into my grandmother's bedroom. I was so confused. I was like, we got ghosts in the projects, like. So my mom told my grandma in Spanish, like, what just happened or whatever. And my grandma played no games. So my grandma went to go get something or whatever. But I think I went to go grab my phone to go tell my sister like what happened or something. I remember telling someone, and then I went in the room. I didn't want to go in there first of all, so I go in there and I almost slip, and I'm like, I turn on the light, and I'm like, there's water on the floor, and I'm like, I told my grandma, I was like, there's water on the floor, like we gotta mop that up. She's like, no, it's holy water. I was like, okay, all right, grandma. Then that night, I went to go to sleep. I was to go to sleep. Oh my god. First of all, I was already scared to go to sleep as it is because I'm like a whole whatever it was. Like, you know, me and my 11-year-old mind is just like jumping off buildings to conclusions. And then, I mean, I felt like safe because my mom was here and then my grandma was here too. So like we're all like sleeping in the same bed and I'm like, I'm protected. The way my grandmother's bed was, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a hard plastic, but like I could see through it. I was like sleeping like that, or trying to sleep. I look into the plastic headboard, or I want to say it's plastic, but like I could just look at it and I can see the reflection behind me. It wasn't glass though. So I was like looking, I was like, I saw the silhouette of a man. On further research, like years later, I realized that I saw the Hat Man. The way he looked, okay, it looked like as if he had his hands like in his pockets, because this is what, you know, that the bend in his elbow, I saw that. It looked like he was like standing like this and he had like a fedora on. For the longest, I didn't know what's happening. Like 11 years old, I didn't know what a fedora was. Like I wasn't that, you know, fashionable as far as hat choices. When I tell you, I stopped breathing. I was like, me and my poor I was just like looking and I was like I stopped breathing and everything. Like, what could be over there making that shape? You know what I mean? Like my grandma just had like a little, a tall little closet thingy. It was like a part of the set. Maybe like a 5-piece furniture set that just matched everything. There was only that there. There was nothing there is what I'm trying to say. There was nothing there that could have made that shape. And like I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to move, so it's like I think I closed my eyes and then I looked again and it was still there. And I was like, oh my god. And so I remember closing my eyes, but like I was so scared that I started seeing like, you know, like my imagination. I started seeing like weird faces and everything. So I was like, all right, girl, like you're freaking yourself out. And then I look again. It's not even there. I remember waking my mom up and I was like, mommy. I was like, mommy. I don't think I cried. But I explained to her what I had seen and everything, whatever. What I saw. Is it seen, saw? I think it's saw. I explained to her what I saw and she was groggy. I think I wanted to tell her more, like, because I was scared and she was just like, yeah, and I'm like, okay. And the next morning I told her whatever, and then my grandma received a phone call saying that someone passed away. Someone in Honduras. Okay, so what were they doing? Like, oh, you are? Like, what are you visiting me for? Or visiting us or watching weirdo? They passed away maybe like that night or that day, you know, before my grandmother got the call. And I was like, like, then, my great uncle, I think, he said that he saw the same thing that I saw. Because he explained, you know, the way he looked or it looked, and the hat, especially the hat. They called him the Hat Man. And I'm like, no. Like, I was just like, that's insane. Like, I'm not super like sensitive to my areas. Like I go in and I'm like, oh my god, so, like I'm not a medium, you know what I mean? But like I can definitely feel when something is off. It don't matter what, it just the way it makes me feel. I usually feel it like right here. This is where I feel it. It's weird. And I have another story, but like I don't like to tell it sometimes because people never believe me. So it's like there was even a picture. But yeah, those are my little mini stories, my selective paranormal house, my sleep paralysis, my childhood horror stories. I'd love to do a video with my mom so that she can tell her story as well when she was in Honduras, because that's another story. The time I guess she saw La Llorona, because we went to go see it in the movie theaters. My mom was telling our family, okay, my mom was telling our family about seeing that movie, and they were talking about, oh, remember when you saw her in Honduras? Apparently I was a baby, I was an infant, and my mom went to go get, like, I guess milk or making my bottle or whatever, and like out the window, you know, she's by the sink, and then she looks out the window and she sees a lady with no face. But thanks for watching.